faces behind the Sunderland goal, the full will end goal, tell you the importance of tonight's occasion. It's Sunderland v Tottenham Hotspur in the first division of the Barclays Football League. And we're looking at the Sunderland side, which did so well at Norwich last Saturday, only to fall to a late goal. That's Tony Norman will be in goal, John Kay at 2, Ruben Agboola at 3, Gary Bennett the captain at 4, Kevin Ball at 5, Gary Hours at 6, Paul Bracewell at 7, Gordon Armstrong at 8, Peter Davenport at 9, Marco Gabbiadini at 10, and Paul Hardiman at 11. The two Sunderland substitutes are Tony Cullen and Thomas Hauser. And unfortunately, we can't tell you the names of those two young men as mascots tonight. We don't have a programme. The programmes have been absolutely sold out. And there we're looking at the Tottenham Hotspur side. Eric Torsfeldt in goal. And in the Spurs side, Pat Vanden Hauwe, Steve Sedgley, the captain Gary Mabbott, Paul Stewart, Paul Gascoigne, Paul Walsh, Gary Lineker and Paul Allen. The two World Cup stars back on duty for Spurs, Paul Gascoigne and Gary Lineker, and two more brilliant players you could hardly wish to meet. The match officials: Trevor Simpson of Halifax is the referee. Trevor Moore of Bradford is on the left as we look with the red trim flag, and Mike Riley of Leeds has the yellow trim flag. And just a word about Trevor Moore, the linesman on the left with the red flag. He will be the fourth official in the England-Hungary match to be played at Wembley in September, so an honour for one of tonight's linesmen. Gary Mabbott on the right, Gary Bennett on the left, the two captains. Trevor Simpson from Halifax, tonight's match referee. And the fourth official, should he be needed, will be Mike Scott. It's a sellout tonight at Roker Park, some 32,000 in the crowd tonight, and what an atmosphere it's going to be. Spurs started off the season by beating Manchester City 3-1 at White Hart Lane on Saturday, so they'll be keen to record another win at Sunderland expense. Marco Gabbiadini standing beside the referee. He scored the Sunderland equaliser at Norwich on Saturday, and Peter Davenport, just to the left of picture, he scored the opening goal for Sunderland to pull them back from 2-0 down to 2-all. And now this match gets underway, and straight away Sunderland on the attack. First free kick of the match goes to Sunderland in the very first seconds of the match. Spurs in the all-yellow strip, Sunderland attacking the Roker end in this first half. Gary Bennett, Bracewell. Oh, and Lineker almost cuts that one out. And that would have been a danger had Gary Lineker cottoned onto that one. Armstrong comes short, gets the ball. Playing in the centre of midfield with Paul Bracewell. That's a poor ball, picked up by Walsh. No Gascoigne, you can tell by the boos. And ironic cheers as Gary Bennett intercepts that loose through ball. Looks for Hours on the through, but Mabbott heads away. Pat Vanden Hauwe in trouble there for Spurs. That's Davenport takes the throw quickly. Hours, but Vanden Hauwe makes up for his mistake by helping the Spurs to clear that ball. But it's with Bennett. Kay. Turned inside by Sedgley, but Hours intercepted by Mabbott. Hours again drives it across goal, but too far. So Spurs break. Cheers as Bracewell goes in hard, but now it's Gascoigne. Is held back, I think. The referee is playing advantage. No, the whistle goes. He was being held back by a combination of Bracewell and Hours. So Spurs get their first free kick. Referee just testing the pressure of the ball. Doesn't like it, so he wants a new ball on. And that's That's well spotted by Trevor Simpson. That one's much better. So Paul Gascoigne over the ball for this free kick. 4 Spurs men on the edge of the penalty area. Bennett heads away, but not very well. Owers gets it clear, but Gascoigne intercepts. Past Bracewell, past Armstrong, Bennett intercepts. Good ball by Bennett. Early ball through for Gabbiadini. Gabbiadini battling for this ball, but Sedgley holds firm. But so too does Armstrong. Bracewell chips the ball in. Spurs in trouble here on the edge of the area. And it's the free kick Tottenham's way. An electric atmosphere here at Roker Park tonight. Gabbiadini committing that foul. And Torsfeldt to take the free kick, rather leaving the free kick to Mabbott. An absolute sea of faces wherever you look at Roker Park. A superb atmosphere. K underneath this one. Owers can't keep that one in. Another throw. Bracewell with the clearance. Mabbott. Slick football by Spurs, but Sunderland harrying them, not allowing Spurs to settle on the ball. Ball with a long one forward, well controlled by Mabbott. Just lays the ball neatly off. Vanden Houw. Najidi back helping in defence. Free kick. The foul on Paul Allen.
Right, can we have a Jim Morrow to the director's entrance immediately, please? Jim Morrow to the director's entrance immediately. Thank you.
So it's been end-to-end so far. Sunderland playing with a lot of confidence. That one straight through to Tony Norman. A number of Sunderland players playing in the First Division for the first time. But not so Gary Bennett, who just touched that ball there. Kevin Ball. Up goes Mabbott. But Sunderland back on the attack again. Referee's blown for the foul. Free kick. Deep inside the Spurs half. Gary Bennett, the only survivor of the Sunderland side which last played Tottenham Hotspur in First Division action. That was in 1985. Although Paul Lemon was substitute that afternoon, and Paul Lemon is still on Sunderland's books. But Gary Bennett, the only survivor from either side of that match, playing tonight. Quickly thrown in by Abdullah. Worked back to Tony Norman. John Kay, who himself has sampled football in North London. Gary Bennett, the Sunderland captain. Gabbiadini, great control, looks for Bracewell, doesn't quite find him. Lineker. Early touch, but Kevin Ball covering. Rapturous applause for every good Sunderland move, and this will lift Sunderland. Ruben Agboola going forward. That one was intercepted by Gascoigne. Agboola off Gascoigne into touch. Now Sunderland building again. Armstrong with the cross. I was on his own at the far side, but he just can't control it. It was a touch too high for him. And it just brushed off his head, away into touch. I was beats one man, goes inside, might try the shot. Armstrong with the chip forward, but it doesn't quite work, although there's a flag up in any case. It's an offside decision. So Marco Gabbiadini was caught just offside. And remember the new law change this season, which rules that if a player is level with the last defender, he is onside this year. Peter Davenport almost intercepting that piece of play, that back pass. Ball. Agboola strongly in, comes to Bracewell. Good turn. Just tried a little too much. Gascoigne has it for Spurs. Armstrong at his heels. Gascoigne has to pass it back. And Sedgley all the way back to Thorsfeldt. Ball. Armstrong. Looks for, and there's a foul. On quickly comes Steve Smelt. Free kick to Sunderland as Gordon Armstrong was trying to find Paul Hardiman. Gordon Armstrong lying on the ground. In that match in 1985 I was mentioning earlier, Sunderland won that match 1-0 through a Colin West penalty in the 81st minute. Chris Turner was in the side that day, as was Barry Bennison, Nick Pickering, Peter Daniel, Sean Elliott, Steve Berry, some old favourites there, Roger Wilde, Paul Atkinson, Clive Walker and Paul Lemon was the substitute. Ray Clements was in goal for Spurs that day. Gary Stevens was playing for them, as was Chris Houghton. Graham Roberts, he was playing, he was sent off that day, as was Clive Allen. Spurs finished that match with 9 men as the free kick is taken. Agboola finding Armstrong. Chipped across to Kay. Groans of disappointment as that ball fails to find the target of Gary Owers and turns away into touch. Just over 10 minutes gone. No score. And no real chances yet at either end, although Sunderland have put more pressure on that Spurs goal than the reverse. And there's John Kay. Oh, a careless ball inside. The first chance for Spurs, it's Paul Stewart. You can't afford to do that in First Division football. Allen. And the referee gives the free kick Sunderland's way. Spurs unable to take advantage of that slip. Now Bracewell. Across to Kay. Gabbiadini turns, but just can't follow the ball quickly enough. An off the ball incident there. The referee spots it, blows up, stops play, and he's going to have a word with, just a quiet word with Marco Gabbiadini, and perhaps a word to Steve Sedgley there as well. But the free kick given Tottenham's way. A floating free kick, ball beaten to it, comes to Lineker. Lovely ball out by Lineker, but the pass inside wasted by Paul Stewart. blazes the ball wide of that bar, but that was a lovely pass. It just went through the eye of a needle, that pass from Gary Lineker between two Sunderland players. Found the target, Stewart, but Stewart was unable to return the compliment. The ball hammered clear by Norman. Armstrong flicks on. Stewart. Bracewell. Bennett. Armstrong. Bennett. Good play, appreciated by the crowd. Gabbiadini. Bennett continued going forward. But the move is broken up. Gascoigne with a touch there. And Lineker. The two combining. It's back with Lineker. This time it's Paul Allen on the right. Early ball inside, headed behind by Agboola for the first corner of the match. Spurs beginning to settle, putting some neat football touches together. Over comes the corner, it's a short one, and headed behind for the goal kick. I wonder if Tony Norman will look for Gordon Armstrong. It's in that direction. Armstrong going for it. It doesn't get it, but it comes to Gabbiadini. Davenport up. Hardiman gets the ball inside. This could be a shot. It is by Bracewell, but too high. But a good Sunderland move. The crowd enraptured by the start that both sides have made. Sunderland in particular have gone forward to great purpose. But Spurs too have shown that they are a very, very high-class side. The quality of their interpassing is excellent to watch. Bennett in strongly, the ball breaks for Agboola. Hardiman, back after suspension, wins the throw for Sunderland. Gabbiadini tries to turn his man, and the free kick to Sunderland. On the corner, the left-hand corner of the penalty area, at the Roker end. Hours going out to join Armstrong. That's K at bottom of picture. Could be Hours, it could be Armstrong. It's Hours with the free kick. Deep, Bennett at the far side, headed behind by Sedgley. Sunderland's first corner. And that header behind was a compliment to the way Sunderland are playing. Spurs taking no chances. Gordon Armstrong placing that ball, it seems to me, outside the quadrant. Yes, the linesman just telling him to pull the ball back a foot or so, which he has done. View there of the Roker end. Armstrong with that corner. It's a deep one, but caught well by the Norwegian international Erik Thorsfeldt.
Emerging message, Jeffrey Thompson from Washington, can you return home immediately? Jeffrey Thompson from Washington, return home immediately. Thank you.
Sedgley. Agboola, coolly inside to Bennett, just behind Lineker, who was waiting for the mistake. Davenport can't quite control that. He was under too much pressure. Spurs beat Manchester City 3-1 at White Hart Lane on the opening day of the season last Saturday. Bennett with the header. Now ball. Left-footed, looking for Ours. Ours gets there, but it's well won by Niergi. Now Spurs on the break. Gascoigne just touches it forward. Lineker shrugs off a challenge, but Paul Stewart unlucky to keep that, not to keep that one in. Strong challenge coming in from the back. That was from Gascoigne. Gascoigne there again, and Sunderland win the throw off the foot of Paul Gascoigne. Strong challenge from Bracewell. Steve Sedgley. Allen. Found Hardiman challenging him at the last minute. Armstrong. And Armstrong in with a great challenge, but the throw goes Tottenham's way. Spurs bench on the left of picture. Mabbott. The ball threaded through for Gascoigne. Armstrong challenging him. Gascoigne's pass goes astray, and Bennett finds Agbula. Good ball to Ours, but again just a fraction too high. The idea was very good. Davenport had broken on the left, but the pass to Ours just wasn't quite right. Kay nods inside. Armstrong back to Kay. Bennett. Armstrong takes over. Kay. Pass it back, says Ball, and that's what happens. Just coming up for 20 minutes on the watch. No score as yet in a thrilling match. Deep one by Norman. Hammered away, but Agbula may stop that or may let it run. He decides to stop it and look for Hardiman. Hardiman kept it in, and the ball eventually does go out for the Sunderland throw. Agbula. Come to Armstrong. No, Lineker. Gascoigne bundled over, free kick, wants to take it quickly. Does so. Stewart, Lineker offside, and came back just a fraction too late. He ran into an offside position, saw he was offside, tried to get back, but the pass from Stewart came just too soon. Now Bennett. Ball takes over. Long one looking for Davenport, not quite long enough. Again, Gascoigne bundled over, this time by Gordon Armstrong. Accepted philosophically, his side have the free kick. He's such a brilliant individual player as Gascoigne, he does take some marking. That's rather careless, and the ball has to go back. Bennett heads it wide towards Agbula, but Agbula cannot keep it in. Sedgley, I think, will take the throw, just in the picture now. Looks very much like the long one. And the Spurs throw again. Another long throw. Armstrong up there. Ball still dangerously there, and it's gone for the corner. Najidi takes the corner for Tottenham Hotspur. Middle left of picture, Trevor Moore, the linesman on that far side. Gascoigne just takes too long on the ball. That ball came off Hardiman. The free kick goes Sunderland's way. The trip was by Mabbott on John Kay, and Kay already takes the free kick. Halfway through the first half, and not for want of trying, there's no score yet. Kevin Ball strokes the ball forward to Gabbiadini. Hook towards Gary Hours. Hours it is. Oh, that was a brilliant save. Hours should well have scored there, but equally it was a good save by the goalkeeper. A lovely ball through from Kevin Ball. Gabbiadini found Hours. Hours was left in the clear, and it took an excellent save to keep that ball out. And if Sunderland had scored then, the crowd would have gone crazy. But it was an excellent save, a first division save. The corner, an anticlimax. But that man stopped Sunderland from going a goal ahead. That ball comes to Armstrong, who finds Norman. Norman, with this long kick of his, might surprise a few defences, but this time he plays it short for John Kay. Reminds me of Dave Besant, the distance he gets with his kicks. That one's towards Gabbiadini. The ball's still not cleared by Spurs. Now it is. Played forward towards Gascoigne. Gascoigne against Bennett. Bennett, good enough. The whistle, I think, has gone in any case for the free kick. No, he played on. He played the advantage because Bennett got that ball. But I'm sure he'd have blown had the ball gone to Gascoigne. Now it's Kay. Bennett. Tremendous cheer you heard there as Bennett beat Gascoigne in that tussle. No one anywhere near him, so Norman takes the advantage of coming out of his goal, getting a few extra yards before that long ball I was talking about goes through. Mabbott takes all his time to get that ball away, but he does to good effect. Spurs breaking forward. Stewart finding Najee. Stewart just too far ahead of Lineker. Now Sunderland. It's Sunderland's turn to break, but a rather anxious pass out of defence from Armstrong eludes Gabbiadini, so Spurs can build again. Good control from Agboola. Armstrong looks for Kay. Kay just gets there first. The free kick Sunderland's way. Some breathtaking football from both sides. Played at a fast pace too. Bracewell. Armstrong. Forward by Kay to Gabbiadini. Oh, Gabbiadini beats the goalkeeper. Oh, and it's essentially it is who scrambles the ball behind for the corner. A brilliant piece of skill by Gabbiadini. Dummied his man, got round him, and it took essentially all his time to make a desperate interception. And Sunderland could have scored twice within the last 3 minutes. But all they've got is a corner. Over it comes. Oh, and another save. This time, I think, off the chest of the goalkeeper for a fourth corner. That looked like ball going in on that one. It was a thundering header. Armstrong quite rightly taking his time with this corner. Too deep for his colleagues, but Bennett has it at the far side. Now Sunderland will have to build again. Kay looks up, chips forward, too close to the goalkeeper. Oh, but the goalkeeper drops it and recovers. That should have been the goalkeeper's all day. It was a hanging centre, just the sort that goalkeepers come out and collect. But Gabbiadini, as ever, made him work hard to get it. There was no foul. Bennett fouls his man. A push on Stewart. And this is just a sort of distance for Paul Gascoigne. Perhaps just a shade too far for a shot, but he certainly sets things up from free kicks. Three-man defensive wall with three others, four others, five others now behind them as Gabbiadini joins in the second line of defence. It's a chip forward. Good one too. In goes Stewart. Still Spurs. Vanden Hauwe across. But it's Agboola who clears. Gascoigne has that ability to create all sorts of problems from free kicks that other players just wouldn't. Gascoigne again. Loves to be involved. Vanden Hauwe has to chase back for that one. The ball towards Kevin Ball. Heads it inside. Kay helps him out. Davenport. Good turn. Early ball looking for Gabbiadini. And the goalkeeper has to kick that ball away. Gabbiadini turns and applauds Davenport for that pass. It was a piece of quick thinking on the former Nottingham Forest and Manchester United striker's part. And it almost came off. Just a moment to pause while we get our breath. You can just see some of the illuminations in the distance. But there's no more illuminating place to be tonight than here at Roker Park, as the ball comes across that Spurs goal. Headed inside, Thorsten collects. Torfelt. Good refereeing, the referee just came in. Davenport, the Sunderland man, to pick himself up. Just checked that the goalkeeper was okay. He was. So play goes on. 30 minutes of play gone. Still 1 hour of this feast of entertainment to go. Strong header out by Ball. Davenport tried to find Gabbiadini then. Now it's Gascoigne. Good overlap by Paul Allen. Early cross, Lineker's there. Oh, headed out there by Hours rather with that challenge. Gascoigne, no chance against two determined Sunderland challengers, but he's fighting back. He's won it back. But again, takes too much time. Bracewell takes it off him and finds Armstrong. It's out to Hardiman. Forward to Davenport. Mabbott there with him. Davenport turns. Hardiman in support. Flicked inside to Armstrong. The cross towards Gabbiadini. It's out to Hours. Hours turns. Two men with him. Beats them both. Gets the ball across. Davenport. Bracewell wants it to the edge of the penalty area, but the chip just past the post. Superb play here by Sunderland. At least 6 or 7 men involved in that move. So Torspelt happy to be taking the goal kick. Bennett comes forward strongly. Even too strongly, but Mabbott almost in trouble from Davenport's challenge. Vanden Hauwe gets it clear. Brave header by Kay. It's coming to Ball. Lineker with the challenge, but it's with Agboola. Hardiman. Agboola. In trouble. Has to turn. Oh, and does well to find Ball. Davenport. Hardiman on the run. It's gone inside to Armstrong instead. An off the ball incident there, but play going on. Sunderland on the attack. Gabbiadini. Kay up with him. Gabbiadini still going. Kay takes over. Kay. Gabbiadini. Gabbiadini. No. The referee has ruled it out. It's a free kick to Spurs. Disappointment. Kay and Gabbiadini creating all sorts of pressure, but it doesn't stand. But the pressure Spurs are having to survive is tremendous. But to their credit, surviving it they are. Kay never scored for Sunderland, he almost did then. Hounding there from John Kay. The ball in touch for the Spurs throw. Gascoigne. Another Spurs throw. It's thrill-a-minute stuff. Pat Vanden Hauwe. So Tottenham Hotspur making progress through a series of throws in. Danger. Snapshot there from Stewart. Bennett has it. No foul despite the crowd. In fact, yes it is. The referee has blown for the free kick.
Alright, so now the Glen Parkin from the Houghton Springs who's lost his brother.
Now it's Agboola.
Thank you.
Bracewell. Agboola. Handball, free kick to Sunderland. Quickly taken to Agboola. Back to Bracewell, who took the free kick. He's got Kay with him. It was a deflection off a Spurs player, but Kay got there. Finding Gabbiadini. Hours on the overlap. Going for that line, gets the ball across, but straight to the goalkeeper. Spurs on the counter, and this is what happens often in the First Division, a quick counter-attack. It's Lineker who slips at the vital moment. Now Armstrong. Gabbiadini. Bennett. Neat play by Bennett, very skillful. Bennett intercepts well after Armstrong had been robbed. Tidies play up by bringing that piece of untidy play to an end and finding Norman. 9 minutes left in this first half. No goals yet, but there very well might have been. It's Kevin Ball. Short of Gabbiadini though. Najidi. Good run this by Najidi. Still in. And the whistle goes. Free kick to Tottenham Hotspur. John Kay a bit reluctant to retreat, the required 10 yards. Referee telling him to, that's where you stay. Up comes Gascoigne. Takes over. 4 Tottenham men inside that penalty area. Norman watching anxiously as it goes for the corner.
I can have a Craig wait to go to police reception point. Wait to meet your nephew Neil, who's at that location. Thank you.
So Najidi goes to take this corner. Deep one, headed across by Mabit, but cleared by Agbula. Davenport with the challenge, but the ball worked across to Vandenhouw. Hardiman, but only in a touch. Paul Hardiman finished off his suspension at Norwich last Saturday, following the suspension he got in the playoff match against Newcastle at the end of last season. Oh, this is a little careless, but good recovery by Ball. Bennett. Ball. Gabbiadini. Off Gabbiadini. It depends where it goes. It's come to the Spurs player who clears. But only in a touch. Just over 6 minutes left for play in this first half. Mabit. Sedgley. That was a good run through by Allen if that header had come off. Free kick Sunderland's way. But he's not allowing the Sunderland player to lie down for too long. Steve Smelt waved away. It's Paul Bracewell. We saw a little bit too much lying down in the World Cup, players who were supposedly injured. I'm pleased it doesn't happen in this country as much. Free kick by Agbula. Bracewell. Kay, that was a great ball. Kay with the cross. And the referee just checking that Davenport's okay. He is, and continues. Back to his Armstrong rather than Davenport. It's that Gordon Armstrong haircut. Just look at the faces at that Roker end. Ball breaks for Allen. Gascoigne. Oh, what a good ball. Stewart with the run. But equally well played by Ruben Agbula. A deserved round of applause. Appeals there for offside, but not given. Bennett. Good run this though by Stewart, by Paul Allen rather. And Najidi's pass over the heads of his colleagues, and it's out for the goal kick. Three minutes of play to go in this first half. Good header on from Armstrong. He's very, very good in the air, is Armstrong. gasps as Stewart broke forward, but he lost control. And Agboola calmly rolls it back to Tony Norman. Gabbiadini under severe pressure to Mabbott. Good neat play by Gary Hours. Rolls it inside to Armstrong. Across to Agboola. First time inside towards Gabbiadini, but didn't quite make it. Armstrong challenging. But neat play by Spurs to get out of trouble. And keep possession, which is probably more important. Gascoigne getting that ball back. Now Mabbott. Sedgley forward. Great control there from Gary Lineker. That was an awkward ball. Gascoigne going through, but still Lineker, and the free kick against Bracewell. Bracewell looks disappointed, but the referee was well positioned to see that. Najidi there, number 9. Gascoigne, of course, number 8. There's a Spurs player free on the left, Vanden Hauwe. Kay's seen that and has gone off the defensive wall to get closer to him. Stewart and Mabbott inside the penalty area. Lineker just walking onto the edge of it. Gascoigne tries the shot and just misses. Typical Paul Gascoigne. Hours. Good pressure, Gabbiadini. Armstrong just couldn't find him. And we're halfway through the last minute of normal time at the end of this first half. No injuries to speak of, so I don't expect much injury time. And at least it'll be a chance to draw breath. Referee just looking at his watch, allowing play to go on. Hours inside Vanden Hauwe. Keeping possession well. Najidi challenging with Vanden Hauwe. Vanden Hauwe stretches out his foot, gets the ball into touch. Another look at the watch. Now it's Kay. Davenport with good skills there. Oh, but that pass was just too short of Bracewell, allowing Spurs to break. Gascoigne with the pass out. The linesman's flag is up for the foul. The referee has given it. Paul Allen brought down by Kevin Ball. The 45 minutes are up. We are playing injury time. Gascoigne again over the ball. He's the architect behind these free kicks. Again, plenty of yellow shirts in that Sunderland penalty area. Lots of movement there as well as the free kick floats in, and the header was past the post by Paul Stewart. The crowd still don't agree with that free kick, but it was a very, very strong and robust challenge. Still play going on. Kay clears. Gabbiadini flicks on, and that's a free kick. Quickly taken. And that is the half-time whistle. A roar of appreciation from the crowd at Sunderland's first half display, and indeed Gary Hours, Marco Gabbiadini, Peter Davenport and Paul Bracewell, and indeed John Kay might well have scored for Sunderland in that first half. And although Spurs have pressed forward, they've looked good coming forward, Tony Norman hasn't had a serious shot to save in this first half. and it's with great credit that Sunderland go off at half-time with the scoreline Sunderland 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Welcome back for the second half of what's been a pulsating 45 minutes. Welcome back to the second half of the match, this Barclays League Division 1 match between Sunderland and Tottenham Hotspur. And the second half is going to have to be extremely good to live up to the standard displayed by both sides in the first half. Sunderland perhaps a shade unlucky not to be ahead. They've had all the chances, and it's taken some excellent saves by Torsfeldt in the Spurs goal to keep Sunderland at bay. The second half then underway. Hours recovering there after losing possession. Strokes the ball back to Bennett. And Kevin Ball, who had one thundering header, chested off the line in the first half. Davenport, good turn. Tries to find Gabbiadini, but quick thinking by the defender. That was Sedgley, and the ball helped back to Torsfeldt. Torsfeldt defending the full end goal in the second half. That loose ball snatched up there by Davenport, but it's Gascoigne going towards the penalty area. Round one challenge, but not the second. It was John Kay with that great challenge. Now it's Bracewell. Davenport. Neat turn away from the defender. Plays it wide for Hardiman. Hardiman is too close to the goalkeeper with that cross. Groans of disappointment from the crowd. They expected better than that. But now Spurs can build from defence. Away there by Paul Allen. Finding Stewart. That's Ball with the challenge. The ball across. Oh, and a good save by Norman. The first real chance for Tottenham. And the Spurs man was unmarked there. Totally unmarked. And should have scored. He didn't. And the scoreline remains level. And perhaps that's justice to Sunderland. But certainly a real let-off for Sunderland then. And Lineker should certainly have scored for Tottenham Hotspur then. A free header. But now it's Armstrong for Sunderland. Seems to be a little bit more urgency about Spurs at the beginning of this second half. Sunderland forced there to pass the ball back from halfway to the goalkeeper. The ball breaks towards Mabbott, the Spurs captain. Firm header away by Ball. Gascoigne. Hours in strongly and obstructs the Spurs player. That's Najim. Free kick to Tottenham Hotspur. Gascoigne, for once, didn't actually take it. In there by Bennett. Loss of control cost Spurs a chance there. Bracewell finding Agboola. Bennett, and that had to be a good pass, and it was, just past Lineker. Bracewell tries the shot, but Torsfeldt alive to that. Owers was waiting for the ball on the right, but Bracewell tried the shot, and there, offside. Najim caught offside. Stewart it was caught offside rather than Najim. Gabbiadini, it's a half chance, but Spurs do well to hold the Sunderland striker at bay there. Throw to Sunderland. Bracewell loses possession under pressure. Forward goes Najim. Free kick. Oh, this is very dangerous. Right on the edge of the penalty area. It was Najim going forward, brought down just outside the penalty area, perhaps a yard and two at the most outside the penalty area, just to the right of goal, just inside the D. And the Sunderland defensive wall lined up there. Bennett on the extreme left, Kay there beside him. 6 men in that defensive wall, immediately in front of the 3 Spurs players. Now it's going to be a puzzle for the Sunderland defence. Which of these 3 will take it? It could well be Gascoigne, but Spurs just might pull a double bluff here. It was Gascoigne. Oh, who scrapes the post. The ball goes wide. It was a casual looking free kick, but it caught the Sunderland defence flat-footed. The ball brushed the post before it went wide. But now Sunderland trying to go forward. Forward goes Lineker, has the shot first time, but is wide.
We're looking for the uncle of Stephen Story. Stephen Story, 12 years old, is on the drop stand track with a police officer. Can you distract us now, please?
Gabbiadini trying to go forward, but Gascoigne has it. Under pressure is Gascoigne. Gets around 2 challenges. Also finds Lineker. Lineker dwells too much on the ball, just allowing Sunderland to win back possession. Off the Spurs player. Gascoigne. And that ball policed back by David Howells. Now forward comes Stewart. Early cross. Bennett up, getting the ball away. Allen. Good reverse ball. Najim. Oh, and that was just in front of Lineker. Stewart on the chase. But away comes Sunderland. The pass out of defence blocked, so the ball guided back from Kay to Norman. Now Bracewell. Davenport. No one in the middle at the moment. And Sunderland force the corner. Sunderland, their 5th corner compared with 4 by Spurs. Hardiman across to take this corner. It's a low corner, too low. And Gascoigne can bring the ball away for the visitors. Turns it inside to Najim. Played wide for Allen. On the overlap goes Bergson. Bergson it is. Back to Allen. And again past the post. Spurs beginning to show their talents up front. Lineker again, the man with that header. They've created more danger in front of goal in the first 10 minutes of the second half than they did throughout the whole of the first half. And a substitution is about to be made on the Sunderland side before the game resumes. It's Hardiman going off. And Tony Cullen, the man to replace him.
Sunderland substitute number 12, Tony Cullen.
So Hardiman goes off 10 minutes into the second half. And so Tony Cullen gets his chance to show in tonight's match. Now it's Agboola. Threads it through to Owers, but Owers loses control as he tries to turn at the same time. And Sedgley can clear. Ball. Oh, careless one, trying to find Owers. Didn't have the weight on the pass. Howells. Bergson. Another good cross by Bergson. That's the second one in 3 minutes he's put across like that. And Sunderland, that was an important header to get that ball away. But only Gabbiadini up front. You'll have to hold it if he wins possession. He manages to, does well, very well. Owers. But Cullen fails by a couple of inches to reach that pass. Cullen having only just come on to replace Paul Hardiman. Looks rather as though Owers has taken the place of Paul Hardiman in midfield, while Cullen's gone wide on the right, where Owers was earlier on. He was going forward from midfield to help on the right. No Steve Sedgley. Gabbiadini almost cutting off the back pass. He was watching like a hawk for that, and he nearly intercepted it. Gascoigne. The pass intercepted. Bennett through for Gabbiadini. Bennett continues the run. It's through by Armstrong, but stopped by Mabbutt. Howells looks for and finds Allen. It's now Lineker, and offside stops that move. That was David Howells going all the way, but he was caught offside from that through ball by Lineker. So Lineker, a provider as well as a scorer. Bracewell. Gascoigne arguing with the referee about something, or trying to be really going at the referee, and he'll have to be careful. Armstrong, Davenport, Gabbiadini, still Gabbiadini, Bracewell backing up. It's across to Cullen, so the move is still on. It wants a quick one from Cullen, it comes, but it's far too close. In fact, it's behind the goalkeeper. So Sunderland
Go to the police.
Still showing that sparkle they had in the first half.
That is David going to the police assembly point immediately. Thank you.
And Torsfeldt with the goal kick. Bennett. Bergson. Lineker, what good control, and an early ball across just ahead of Stewart. And Sunderland win that throw. But Spurs have been much more purposeful in the second half. Powerful header inside by Howells, too powerful in fact. And that area for the physically handicapped in the middle of the picture there is just chock-a-block with spectators. Good header by Gabbiadini. Davenport looking for the back pass, but the ball with Gascoigne now. Najim, what a good turn that was. And the foul. Stewart involved there as well. In fact, it was Stewart who was fouled. Gascoigne with the free kick. Stewart and Lineker down the centre, but it's aimed to the Spurs left, headed inside. Stewart, Lineker, oh, didn't hit it just as well. So 1 hour of the match gone. Not quite the pulsating end-to-end play in the second half, but still extremely good football by both sides. An advantage played there in favour of Tottenham, but Kay does well to outsprint Stewart and guide the ball back to Norman. Sunderland, that's one thing about Sunderland, apart from the great show they've put on, they've worked very, very hard for each other tonight. And they look a very good side. Ball. Away by Mabbott. Najim. Timely challenge by Ball, but then Ball is penalised. A little harsh, that one. The referee says dangerous play. Gives the indirect free kick to Tottenham. Ball looked to have won that ball fairly, but the referee raised his foot to say that the foot was too high. Just getting the wall back the correct distance. That's 10 yards. The referee's arm raised into the ball, so the indirect part's been done. But away comes Bracewell. Runs into trouble. And Spurs back on the attack. Neatly threaded through. No foul this time, as Gabbiadini breaks clear over the halfway line. Davenport on his left, Hours on the right, but the pass just not quite right, so Howells can bring it away, finding Gascoigne. Lineker. Gascoigne's continued his run, but the pass just again a fraction too long, and that's enough for the move to break down. Bergson forward to take the throw. Mabbott. Sedgley. Oh, poor one, straight to Hours. Bracewell. Cullen's free on the left. There's Cullen. Good ball by Bracewell. 3 Sunderland men in the penalty area. Cullen tries the shot. Comes to Bracewell. Back to Cullen. But Cullen takes too long. He has to go round his man now. He lost possession, regained it, and then forced the corner. Quickly taken. Now Bracewell. First time in, but away by Bergson. Cullen chasing back. touches it to Bennett. Bennett, round one challenge. Smoothly. Goes forward, continues to run. Looks for the 1-2. Ours. Gary Bennett. And the whistle goes. The offside decision, I think, has been given. Either that or a foul. It looked as though Gary Bennett was going to be allowed to go all the way. Massive cheering as the offside decision had been given against Gary Bennett. Just offside, but a tremendous run forward by Gary Bennett. Now Spurs trying to create an opening. Howells up with them. Gascoigne. Howells. Van den Hauwe. Najim. Bracewell breaks that one up, finds Davenport. Gabbiadini rolls the ball neatly. Davenport finds Armstrong. Armstrong, can he get there? Not quite. Just runs away from him. Ours with a strong, too strong challenge. The crowd howl, but that was a plain foul. A little bit of frustration there, I think, on the part of Gary Owers, that Armstrong just wasn't quite able to get the ball even toe-ended to him, so that he could have a run down the left wing. The kick taken by Bergson. Ours, an overhead clearance. Ball. Ooh, stabs it to Bracewell. Bracewell just manages to get it. Finds Ours. Clever play by Ours. Bracewell. Ball. Brings the ball away from a congested midfield to give himself more space. And Sunderland quite happy to play the ball across the back four, knowing that there are no Spurs players anywhere near. Bennett. This has the crowd singing. This time a long, long ball trying to find Cullen. Cullen challenging all the way, but Van den Hauwe lets it run into touch and takes the throw himself. Almost halfway through the second half. Still, neither side has been able to break this deadlock. Oh, there might be a chance here as Cullen pounces on a mistake. Chips the ball over Davenport, unfortunately, but gets the second chance. This time it's a more up and under. Ours, but he's beaten to the ball, I think, by Howells. There was a handball against Gary Owers. It's a free kick to Tottenham. And as Owers went in, he handled that ball. He's just being spoken to by the referee. Just for a moment, the crowd thought of a penalty when the referee pointed to his hand, but he was pointing against Gary Owers rather than against the Spurs defender. But Tony Cullen almost opening up the Spurs defence there. He started well. Armstrong having to head the ball back there. Gascoigne. Not a good pass. Allen hadn't made the run for him. Lineker almost in. A good job that back pass had the correct weight. It was just strong enough to elude Lineker. Now Bennett. Armstrong's gone forward, but Howells intercepts that through ball. Immediately tries to find Lineker, but that's too strong. Ours changes gear, but a ricochet, and the ball is with Bergson. Allen, Stewart, and offside. Good interception though by Armstrong.
So can we have a David Frame and Paul Hutchinson to the first age unit immediately, please. Thank you.
Kay. Bennett. Ball. Armstrong. Hours. Looked for Davenport but didn't get the right direction. Mabbott finds Allen. Allen continues the run. Deep cross. Stewart on the far side. Gascoigne. Can't get round Kay. And Norman has to gather. It wasn't very strongly hit, but it was well directioned. And Norman had to move across his goal to collect it. It was an awkward bouncing ball. And a bit more power might have had Norman in more trouble. Gabbiadini up well. Hours on Davenport, just ran in the wrong direction for that Hours header. Lineker lets the ball uncharacteristically run under his foot. Bennett short for Bracewell. Only the two main Sunderland strikers up front, with Hours about 5 or 10 yards behind them in support. But Bennett and Ball taking the chance to get to know each other before Bennett delivers the ball towards and finding Gabbiadini. Tries to go around a challenge, can't do it. Mabbott it is who stops him. A little off the ball incident involving Davenport there, and Gascoigne I think was the other one. No, not Gascoigne. Gascoigne's further forward. But it's sorted out now anyway, and play going on. Howells it is. And in the end, an easy one for Tony Norman. A lot of tension in this game. Armstrong controlling the centre of midfield, but that pass wasn't too good. But it's still the Sunderland throw. Bracewell. Great turn, beating Howells. Threads the ball through, but no one is that far forward for Sunderland. Bergson. Agbula, and Bennett it is who has to scramble that ball away. Just nicked the ball off the end of Gary Lineker's foot. But it must have hit the Spurs man last because the goal kick has been given. Free kick against David Howells, who jumped too early, keeping Gordon Armstrong down. Bracewell wants to take the free kick quickly, but no one really settled up front, so he just plays it short for Agbula. Agbula tries to thread it through for Armstrong, but too short. Now Spurs break, and there's a lot of the Sunderland men have gone forward. It's played early towards Stewart, but Norman did well. An encouraging pat from Norman to Ball, as Ball desperately tried to get back and just about succeeded. Bennett, Armstrong, Bennett, Cullen, trickling around one man and offside though against Davenport. Good view there of Eric Torsveld, the Spurs goalkeeper, who had one blinding save to make in the first half to keep out a Gary Hours shot when Gary Hours looked an odds-on scorer. Hurled himself away to his left to keep out the Gary Hours drive. But now Spurs building. Through comes one of the strikers, Allen. Howell's up there with the attack. And Bennett it is who gets the ball away from danger, but only into touch. Long throw. The no-nonsense clearance. Mabbott. The clearance by Howells. Kay's header. Armstrong, the ball loose. Gabbiadini there first. And it's due to him that Sunderland can break. A good advantage played by the referee. Hours to the left of Armstrong, but Armstrong tries the shot from 25 yards and is just far enough over the bar not to worry the Spurs goalkeeper.
Tonight's attendance is 30,214.
30,214 fans here tonight. Just fractionally below the capacity, which is 32,000. But they've had a feast of football entertainment tonight. A brilliant first half and a second half which is almost of the same standard. Gascoigne. 15 minutes left for play. It's Tottenham's turn to break. Najim turning that one back. Gascoigne threading his way to the edge of the penalty area. The ball headed away, and Sunderland bringing this one away out of defence. Good challenge on Davenport, and Davenport then body checks the Spurs player. That was Najim. Little bit of frustration. I think he felt that he was fouled when he was trying to bring the ball away out of defence, but the referee ruled that he wasn't. Sedgley's free kick. Kay has time to watch that one go out and then realises he's given away the corner. I think one or two of the crowd on that far side, on the Paddock side, had seen that and were trying to will the Sunderland player to keep the ball in. So this is the Tottenham Hotspur fifth corner. 6 have been taken by Sunderland. It's played short. Najim again, half challenged, the ball through the Spurs players, and now Sunderland can break through. Davenport, but his pass was half intercepted, just preventing ours from getting to it. Ball running for this one, and the crowd appreciate the fact that Ball it is who forces the Sunderland throw. Bergson stops that clearance. Najim. Howells has gone forward with Najim. Najim itself, oh, there's a deflection, but still Norman manages to get there. Probably off Gary Bennett. But the deflection didn't deceive Tony Norman. Oh, Davenport looked to be pushed, but the referee, in a good view, plays on. It's with Lineker. He's got Stewart in the centre, but Bennett there, quite calmly, just lets the ball roll to Norman. Bennett. Bracewell. Ours. This time the control lets ours down. It hasn't done that very often tonight. In fact, Sunderland's control generally has been excellent. Mabbott to Sedgley, who clears, but only into touch. The ball comes to Bennett. Bracewell had to pass the ball back wide because Lineker was there blocking that back pass.
Very quickly, looking for David Crane and Paul Hutchinson. Can you go to the first aid unit immediately, please?
Another big Norman clearance. Gabbiadini trying to flick on. Oh, and another ricochet. And equally, Torsfeldt glad to see the ball dropped into his hands, just like Tony Norman at the other end a few minutes ago. The ball out for the throw, and Gascoigne again having words with the referee. Throw in taken quickly. Davenport unable to turn, under pressure from Mabbutt. The clearance by Gascoigne. But Bennett keeping Lineker away from the ball. And then just pushing the ball into space for Agbula. Now Bracewell. Some quality defending by Sunderland tonight. And Gary Bennett stands out in that respect, although he's not alone. Cullen. Taking on Van Hau. Van Hau gets his foot there. Kay in support. It's back with Kay. Inside, wants the 1-2. It's played. Pulled back for Gabbiadini. Davenport. And somehow Spurs get that ball away. And Davenport was looking for a penalty there, but the referee would have none of it. And the Spurs defence was really pulled apart then. But now will Sunderland's be at the other end? This is the way the game's gone. First one side, then the other. A lovely challenge by Bracewell. Perfect timing. He's got Cullen alongside him. Strokes it left to Gabbiadini. Hours on his left, but Gabbiadini goes right, changes pace, tries one, doesn't get anything behind it, and Torsfeldt doesn't even have to pick it up. But a change of pace, a change of direction by Gabbiadini, again wrong-footing that Spurs defence. And he looks at home in the First Division, does Marco. That move certainly didn't come off for Tottenham. Just 8.5 minutes left for play. Agbula. Armstrong. Davenport does well to hold that ball in. Agbula, the wrong direction, but Gabbiadini just on the right of picture there, acknowledging the attempt of Agbula to find him. But now it's Gascoigne. Long, raking ball by Gascoigne. But Kay deflects it to Bennett. Armstrong. Hours. Bracewell. Kay. Hours. A quick glance by the referee, but onside. Still Gary Hours could get it. That was good work by Cullen. In comes Davenport, but it's away by Bergson. Cullen looking for Armstrong, but no one on the far side for Sunderland. So Spurs can bring the ball away. It's Gascoigne finding Lineker. Najim. Oh yes, neat play again by Sunderland's defence. Cullen it was back in defence, just taking the ball away from the Spurs player. No hustle, no strength, just timing. But he's lost it and Spurs have regained possession. Paul Allen. Stewart, but again, Sunderland's defence good. An attempted flick through there from Davenport to Gabbiadini. Bergson. Lineker challenged, but keeps possession. Sedgley. Vanden Hauwe. That was Ball breaking that one up. Now it's with Bracewell. Plays it square for hours. Good positioning by Vanden Hauwe, but Sunderland have it back through Armstrong. And now Kay, but easy for Torsfeldt. Just a few seconds over 5 minutes left for play. Flicked inside by Gascoigne, but it's with Armstrong. The early ball looking for Gabbiadini, but again, Sedgley well placed. Now Howells. Gascoigne. Lineker, clever back heel, back to Gascoigne. Lineker going with Gascoigne, but a good interception by Bennett. But Spurs still have possession. It's Najim. Gascoigne. Bergson. Bergson on a good run. Keeps going. He's through, and a good save by Norman. A great save by Tony Norman. Bergson should have finished that one off. That's been the one fault on both sides tonight, the finishing. Both sides have had good chances, and both sides have wasted them. Mainly due to excellent goalkeeping. But certainly, it shouldn't be a 0-0 draw, the way things have gone. And that was Spurs' best chance. But now, Ruben Agbula finding Kevin Ball. A long one from Ball towards Gabbiadini. This could be danger. Davenport with the shot, but again, no power. And so the score remains goalless. An awkward ball brought down in the end by Stewart, finding Lineker. Allen. Gascoigne. Lineker trying to turn, but finds Gascoigne. Still Gascoigne looking for that shot. Threading his way through, but it's forced wide. Good defending. Nobody really committed themselves. The ball played across, and Norman holds that weak header from Stewart under the bar. Releases the ball early for Hours, but no one forward. Gabbiadini on the halfway line. Hours has continued the run. He gets around the challenge of Howells, does Gabbiadini. Tries the shot, but well wide. That was fully 30 yards out, perhaps more. And the linesman is trying to attract the attention of the referee, and that's because there's a Tottenham substitution about to be made. Perhaps even the double substitution.
Tottenham substitutes the number 12, Paul Walsh.
So Paul Walsh, number 12, and number 14, Vinnie Samways, take the places of Paul Stewart, number 7, and Najim, number 9. So a double Tottenham substitution. Paul Walsh going up into the attack. He's only got 2.5 minutes, perhaps a shade less, to show what he can do. Certainly is an excellent player, a quality player is Paul Walsh. But will he have time to show his skills? Hours now for Sunderland. Ball. Armstrong. Howells. Samways, the substitute. The other substitute, Walsh. It's coming to Agbula. Bracewell. And Sunderland building well out of defence. It's Bracewell. Through for Gabbiadini. The layoff to Davenport. It's back with Gabbiadini. And certainly no foul there. Gabbiadini got tangled up with Sedgley. And there was no foul. No semblance of a foul there, despite the crowd howling. Now Bennett finding Armstrong. Now Cullen. A teasing run this by Cullen. And the corner forced. Cullen holding up the ball well under pressure. We're moving into the last minute of normal time. Sunderland have the corner. It's an outswinger. It's coming out to Bracewell. The shot charged down. Spurs going to break quickly. There's only 2 Sunderland defenders back. It's Allen going forward. And the whistle goes. Kevin Ball brings down Paul Allen. And one of the new law changes this season is that if a player commits serious foul play in denying an opponent a clear goal-scoring opportunity, he'll be sent off. But that was too far out from goal to constitute that. But now it's Gascoigne. Samways. The cross by Allen, half stopped. Oh, and Bergson blasted over the bar. That's 2 chances Bergson's had to seal this match for Spurs within the last 5 minutes, but both times he's missed the opportunity. Full time apart from the injury time to be added on, and there hasn't been a lot of that this half. He played a couple of minutes in the first half, and perhaps you play about the same amount in the second. But the 45 minutes are up. I'll look at the watch, but play goes on. Armstrong's flick, an important one. He found Gabbiadini. Davenport. Gabbiadini tries a shot. It's past the goalkeeper, but also past the post. And what drama that would have been if Gabbiadini could have guided that ball just a foot to his left. Torsfeldt must have been worried. And that's all we're going to have. And in a way, perhaps it's fitting that neither side should lose this game, although over the 90 minutes as a whole, Sunderland did edge it, but in the second half in particular, Spurs came back with some good attacks, and Lineker and Bergson in particular missed some great opportunities to score for Spurs. Equally though, a number of the Sunderland players covered themselves with glory, and if ever there's been a classic 0-0 draw, that's what it's been here at Roker Park tonight, as you can tell by the crowd's reaction. Sunderland are back in the first division with a vengeance. Sunderland 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Tonight's attendance is